it is so that's what I would say, that there has been a lot of research on this, and even scientists from Harvard Business School have written that some loneliness uh, is actually in the background of most clinical illnesses. And sometimes it is the cause for illnesses, and sometimes it is the reason why healing gets delayed. But loneliness is a huge kind of like a what
Neha, you got
No
mute.
voice, no,
Neha, you
no
got
voice.
mute.
Yeah.
it is linked with higher loneliness is linked with higher cardiovascular diseases, dementia, anxiety, and also with any healing process gets delayed when we are lonely. John Cacioppo, a research scientist, has clearly said that humans being social beings, we are genetically wired, we are hormonally wired, and we are neurally wired to be interdependent. We are not wired to be independent. We don't get true happiness from being autonomous and solitary. We get true happiness when we feel that we are giving love to others, and when we feel that we are receiving love and security from others. So it is our genetic, it's our very basic genetic makeup, and it is our very basic need. And he goes on to say as much as that when we are hungry, our body feels the hunger. We feel the hunger, and that is when we feel the need to eat. Likewise, when we are thirsty, we feel the thirst and we feel the need to drink something. So loneliness is actually a feeling that makes us, which is telling us that we need to have a belonging, a sense of belonging with someone or mm, some organization, but we need to belong. And it is equally after the basic need of food and water, it is the most important need for a human being, the need to belong to another person. So this reminds me of a story that Nitya has once told us, where one person is he's given a tour of heaven and hell, and he goes to heaven. He goes to hell first. He goes to hell first, and he sees that everything is there. There's good food. There's beautiful cutlery. There's huge dining table. The weather is beautiful. Everything is perfect. But then the only problem is everybody's looking miserable. The reason is that with all that good food in front of them, they're not being able to eat anything because there's very long spoon attached to their hands. So when they try to pick up the food with the spoons and they try to put it in their mouth, spoon is too long and they can't feed themselves. So the person says, okay, let's take a look at heaven now. So they go to heaven, and in heaven, it's exactly the same situation. The table is large, the food is amazing, the weather is amazing, and everybody's hands has the same long spoons tied to their hands. Um, the only difference in heaven is that people are feeding each other with the long spoons. And for me, that story defines life. That the beauty of, sorry, sorry. So the beauty of life is in the love we give to each other. It makes life beautiful. Given the same circumstances, it is the element of love and compassion that makes life beautiful. Uh, the the psychologist uh, Nietzsche. He said, "He who has a why to live for can bear almost any how." And in that why, when we look at the reasons for living, love is the greatest, single greatest reason to live that gives us the joy.
Neha, you got mute again.
Yeah, sorry. I don't know what the issue is. So, okay, to continue. For me, love is the basic life force. And when I say love, yes, I include all types of love, but I may repeat, the love that is shared between two partners is the single most important feeling of love in a grown human's life. So now that we are at this, let's try and define what love is, and not in the way that poets define love, but in the way that a scientist defines, a research scientist defines love. So, Barbara Fredrickson defines love as a strong desire for further connection, a powerful bond that people hold with a select few, leading to growing intimacy between them. And how does the love make us feel inside of us? It makes us feel connected to other people. It makes us feel belonging to other people. And the connection is the energy that exists between two people when they feel seen, heard, and valued. When they can give and receive without judgment. When they derive sustenance and strength from the relationship. That's connection. Why do humans need to feel connected? Besides the fact that we are genetically wired, even if we look at it historically, uh, humans could not have survived alone in the jungles. So if a human was alone in the jungle, there was very little likelihood of survival because there was very high chance of dying out of hunger or a beast being attacked by a beast and losing your life. So the it was a very primal and basic need for humans to hang around in groups. And historically, that has continued as a basic human need to be with people who you know have your back no matter what. So it is our neurobiology. And to the extent that when there is disconnection, and we've experienced this, we've all experienced this at some time or the other in our lives, that when there is disconnection from our partners, in the sense of what we can say like a connection going into a disconnection or something that leads to heartbreak, it is as painful as physical pain. And that is also again because the same neural wire is that determines the feelings of a disconnection or a heartbreak are the same neural passages are shared by the feelings associated with physical pain. So it is equally painful. So now that I think we've broadly established that love is extremely important, a basic human need, let's come to try and understand why is it that most of us are struggling with love? What makes us struggle with love? What makes love so hard to find? What makes love so hard to sustain? So, if I was to ask you what is the opposite of love, what would you say? You can put it in the chat if you like. Yes, that's right. Fear is exactly the opposite of love. Most of us feel that hate is the exact opposite of love. No, fear is the exact opposite of love. How does fear prevent us from finding love? So it's like this. Love is our need to belong, our need to be accepted without judgment. And most of us start to feel that we will probably face rejection at some time when we look for love. It creates fear in us. We've had experiences growing up when we needed to be loved, we needed to feel validated. But what we received instead was either a perceived rejection or an actual rejection. And that made us fearful of love. So one time I was doing a chakra healing meditation with some of my friends, and whenever a chakra healing meditation is done, most people will say that the one chakra that they